Operation status quo. Operation status quo. Prepare to engage. Operation status quo. Ready to engage. Operation status quo. Engaged. Engaged. Ladies and gentlemen, how do you do? Me and you. Yeah. I always feel so good when I hit those buttons. I'm a button maniac. Let me give it a little ayo. Ayo. All right, we're all finished for that. I love pushing buttons. Well, you know what? That's true. I do. I love pushing buttons here, like pushing these buttons, and I also like pushing people's buttons a little bit. It's like, it's kind of fun. Well, it's not fun to upset people, but it is fun. What we do here, Operation Status Quo, we're challenging the status quo, right? So it is fun to, kind of engage in making people a little bit uncomfortable about the quo, only because that's how you create your own flow. You have to be a little uncomfortable and see things from other perspectives. Otherwise, what the hell are you doing in this life? You're just living like a robot. Hello and welcome to Operation Status Quo. I am Pete.Palma. I am your user-friendly host, broadcasting live from the comfy confines of my very own home. Where are you? Let me know. Are you driving? Who cares? Look down and start texting and type right now where you are. Even if you're driving, who cares, right? Because no one pays attention on the roads anyway anymore. Before you know it, we're going to have those self-driving cars anyway, so you'll be able to text all day long and keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, even every waking moment of your life. So this is the place where we observe the status quo of life. We learn to flow with the status quo of life. And then most importantly, we learn to create our own flow of quo, because that's the only way to go. So what are you doing out there right now to create your own flow of quo? Let me know in the comments below. That's right. And the same thing, like I just said, if you're driving, who cares? Just text and tell me what you're doing, because it's more important to tell me what you're doing right now than actually pay attention to the road. Who cares about those pedestrians or maybe a little turtle walking across the road to lay some eggs? Who gives a crap, right? Because it's more important to keep your face buried in the phone every waking moment of your life. All right. I don't know why I got off on that kind of tangent. What the hell am I talking about? You never know what's going to happen. That's what happens here with the stream of consciousness, the live stream of consciousness, ladies and gentlemen. And remember one last thing, please remember, if you're not living your flow of quo, you are living someone else's flow. And right here on Operation Status Quo, that is a damn no-no. We don't do it, and we won't have it. No Roger, no rerun, no rent. No Roger, no rerun, no rent. Nah, that's old school. You have to go back and find what the hell I'm talking about there. All right, let's get into it. Can we please... I don't know. I'm trying to keep my brains. I always try to keep my brain set. I don't know what happens. Like once I turn this thing on, it's like all of a sudden, it's like, you know what I mean? It's just like it all happens. It's all happening. Today is, first of all, we do have a special guest a little later in the show, a good friend of Operation Status Quo, Mr. Jones of the Mr. Jones Science Seminar will be with us later in the show. And I am planning on doing this day in history today towards the end as well. So stick with me for all the good times yet to come. Even if they're not in this episode, they'll definitely be in the next one. So keep watching. Eventually, you'll find something that'll make you chuckle. All right? You'll chuckle just a little bit. Or at least, again, as I always say, feel good about yourself because you're looking at what I'm doing and saying how ridiculous it is. But that's good because that can be inspiring you to do something even better, which would be great because what the hell am I doing after all? What am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. All right. Hey-o. Okay. All right. So today is the 18th of June in the good year 2025, and today's program is entitled The Greatest Story Ever Told. Right? Because, ladies and gentlemen, every time I say the title, then I got to try to explain why I said the title. I don't know. I just like, well, I said it's the greatest story ever told because, the world's been crazy lately, right? With everything that's going on, especially since the last week or so when those, the ICE raids and stuff started happening, and then people started protesting LA and then the other cities, and then the No Kings thing, and then you got Israel and Iran now blowing each other up and all that type of stuff. Still stuff going on with Russia, Ukraine, right? It's just like all this nonsense all the time, and I really want to bring it back to center because I've spoken on this so many times, and I'd like to because as things heat up and things seem to be more chaotic and more crazy and more outlandish in every which possible way, I'd like to kind of just circle it back in again again, to as a reminder, because that's what we're here for on Operation Status Quo, right? We're observing, and I don't just say these words, we're observing life. That's really what we're doing. And the outside world merely is an observation in the regard that it is a show. What we're seeing is really the greatest story ever told. The greatest story ever told, that of humanity in itself and its physical existence. I'd like to say it in this way, because I always tell everybody not to look at surface level ongoings, not to judge everything based on what the news is saying and what this story says and what this person did or what this person said. All that type of stuff is just like, I mean, it's like just so bottom level. It's like the bottom feeders, okay? It's the most basic level you can get. I don't know, aside from like total ignorance of existence altogether. I don't know, that would be fortunate if you're not even aware of your existence, I guess, because then you wouldn't be enveloped in the nonsense that goes on. But that surface level stuff is really, the bottom line. Everything we see is a projection. Now, I'm trying to keep it somewhat contained because, I get off on these kind of esoteric metaphysical ways of thinking and such. But, realistically, if you really think about it, I want to take it to this step, that when I say everything's a show, I don't mean that it's like everything is purposefully orchestrated in a sense that it's a show, like it's all made up and nothing's happening. Like, things are happening, right? But they're projections. They're not really what is happening. The narratives and the media and the way that things are couched and put together and presented to the population, that is a way of kind of basically just taking a portion of what's happening, right? Because there's so much going on, but they take a portion of it and put it in this one linear fashion to say this is the totality, when in actuality the totality of everything is much greater. I like to use this example. If you just sit and close your eyes, you just kind of think, you let your mind drift and thoughts come and go, right? Even during the day, even if your eyes aren't closed, even if you're driving and texting and doom scrolling while you're driving and running over pedestrians, even if you're doing that, there's all thoughts. This is why I always talk about how important it is to to be responsible and have reverence and such, for your thoughts, and to be not just to let your mind run wild, to always realize that thoughts are things and thoughts are real and thoughts create what goes on in your life, what goes on in the world. So think just, as a test or as an example or whatever. You sit, you just let your kind of thoughts go. You think about what you thought about. You thought about, oh, this person that made you man a little bit, or you thought about, oh, I'm trying to be a better person, or you thought about, oh, I got to change my diet, or I'm, whatever. You're just all the random crazy, I got to change my sheets. I don't know, maybe I should take a shower, for God's sake. When's the last time I did that? I would see. Now I started thinking, oh, God, I'm adding to it. I'm adding to the misery of humanity. Oh, God. Hey-o. That's why I do my dipsy doodles at the pool. This way I don't have to shower. The chlorine kills off everything that needs to be killed. Seriously, though. All right. So all these thoughts, then, where are they? What are they? They exist. They're alive. You don't think so. You think you're just thinking things, right? It's just, I just thought that. But it doesn't. You thought it, and it creates an energy and a vibration. And the more we focus on what thoughts, the more strength that those energies and vibrations gather and then contain. So in essence, what we're seeing as a collective in our society is a projection of all the deep-rooted thoughts, because we're all one energy anyway, right? So it's like festering in like a cauldron, like all your thoughts. It's like, yeah, they're festering, boil, toil and trouble. And that's kind of like what's going on, like in the background while we're going out there texting and getting Starbucks and eating Doritos and whatever, all the mainstream nonsense that we do. But in reality, there's stuff going on that is creating the projection of what we see in the world day to day. So I want to just really say it deeply again, because I mean this so much. There is no right or wrong. There is no good or bad. It's merely projections, reflections, opportunities, choices, decisions to be made, and everything is out there. Now, to take it to the real world, if somebody wants to say, whatever, people get hurt. And yeah, people do get hurt. Are they blowing up stuff overseas and people are dying? Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. But it's just saying, but it's also, it's so much deeper in the regard to that, again, as one humanity, as one energy beyond our physicality, these choices are being made on soul level. Some people decide, like the people in 9/11, like I think I might have said this before, those souls on some level decided that they were going to take part in what happened that day and were going to be a reflection back, because you need something sometimes so powerful to get others to think. This is what I'm trying to say. Instead of everybody always chiming it down, or chopping it down, I don't know, the surface level view, whoever, either side, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter whether you think Trump is a dictator or Trump is saving the country, whichever way you think, whichever, it doesn't matter, because it's still a distraction. It's still a projection of a part of the totality. And you guys are seeing me, RC3. If you're out there, can you tell me send me a text and let me know if I'm buffering or what's going on? I think RC3 is on the line over there, and he can let me know how bad the buffering situation is. If you could, RC3, I would appreciate it if I did I go off camera? Did I come back? But anyway, that's kind of like the point I'm trying to make, is like, I like to use the example too of, like, I had friends that were big on Dungeons and Dragons. They played Dungeons and Dragons all the time. They probably still do. I wouldn't be surprised if they still do. But anyway, what's Dungeons and Dragons, right? You pretend that you're a troll or something else, whatever you pretend that you are. And let's say, hold on, you never respond. But hold on, what is this? Hold on here. I'm asking RC3 if I was buffering, so let's see if he answered that question. Let's see. No, he never. Mr. RC3, are you listening out there? I was trying to ask you if I was buffering. I had some issues here that my OBS said it was disconnected. So did we lose any portion of the broadcast, or was I speaking all the way through? And you're asking me about something we haven't even got to yet. And I know that my damn chat doesn't work. I don't know what do you want me to tell you. My live chat does not work for some reason, so I'm unable to do that. But going back to Dungeons and Dragons, I have friends. Anyway, you pretend you're a troll, you pretend you're whatever, and like. People used to go to live. This is like what I'm saying. Like, it's a live action show. Everything, we're living like a live action show. If you went to one of those camps over the weekend or something to be a troll, and people actually pretended they were. I never went to one of these things, but I have friends that used to do this. They go and they pretend that they're the D&D character for like the whole weekend, and I'm just saying, like, it's the same thing, just on a grander scale. There are paths that are being forged, in a sense of on both sides, because there's always a balance of good and bad, right and wrong, and all that. So, there's a balance, because there is no good, bad, right or wrong, but there's a balance of contrast, I should say. So there's always paths being woven at higher levels of frequency, and the world has to play out in the way it does. Going back to saying our thoughts and what they produce, there's a lot of suppressed human angst that is being put forth now, that is creating what we're seeing in the world. So, okay, RC3 says I did buffer there for a bit, but hopefully the volume was okay. You still heard me talking, even if I was buffering. Who cares if I'm buffering, right? Yeah. So that's the basic. I really just want to implore people once again to not take what we're seeing in this life so serious. This life is not that serious. I mean, we're going to come, we're going to go. It is what it is. Things happen, things don't. You're here today, gone tomorrow. Blow this up, rebuild something. I don't know, right? I mean, it's really not that deep. Like, and even if you do all the things the mainstream says, you get your perfect college degree, your perfect job, your perfect spouse, your perfect kids, your perfect vacation home. I don't know. At the end of the day, what's that? I mean, what's that even matter? What does? No, the chat is not working. RC3, I said that the chat is not working. No. But at the end of the day, what happens when you have all that, you're still going to get to an age and you're still going to croak. Even if you were the happiest, best life ever, right? I mean, it's still, that's what I'm trying to say. That's why it's not real. These lives aren't real, and we shouldn't put so much focus and seriousness on it. We should really more be, living with our soul, our inside, our spirit, and let that express. Instead of looking, I'm going to leave it with this. Instead of looking out there and saying, this is what is and this is what is showing, we have to look within, and then we create the what's out there, right? We create the what's out there, and everybody has a different what's out there. And I believe, as I've said before, that if you, whatever frequency you're vibrating with, the universe is with you on that, and you're going to have things in your life that reflect back that frequency. So some things you'll be more susceptible to, other things you may be more protected from. It just really depends on, doesn't mean it's not there. Everything's there. And again, it's just a projection. So I hope you're enjoying the show out there. Not my show, but the show of the world and all this stuff that's going on. I mean, we just can't take it in that way, because it's not what it seems. And the more we focus on that portion of it, the more we take our energy down and we give power to it, which creates more of it. But in my life, we don't have it. I don't have it here. It's not here on Operation Status Quo. I'm not part of it. I don't believe in it. I don't want it. I can give two craps. Hey-o. All right, let's leave it all that with all that stuff. I don't know how many times I got to tell you, all you people out there, that the mainstream world is set up for us to fail, and it's bullshit, and all the stuff that we're seeing is nonsense. I mean, come on, get with the program, work with me here a little bit, and let's create something better, and stop being little wusses out there, believing everything, and getting all upset over who said what and who did what. Nah, 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 nah. It doesn't matter. Go out and do what you want to do. Make your life. Go do it every day. Do it this moment. Don't worry about anything else. But I can't, and I will, and boo, boo, boo. Oh, if only this. Oh, if only that. Blah, blah, blah. Go do it. Go. That's it. Now I'm worked up. Now I'm worked out. You want the AO? No. I come over here. We need the big crowd. Yeah, because they're upset. Now I'm talking about the babies that are whining all the time. You can't take it. It's too much for all of us. It's too much for all of us. I know. All right. Whew. All right. I just get so passionate about it because I feel like there's so much potential in all of us. So there's, we're so subjugated to these lower levels of nonsense, and everybody just believes in it and goes with it. It's like it's propaganda on all sides, people. All right, stop fighting each other and being stupid. Like these people are just some people are just so dumb, and they just follow. They don't even know what they're following or why they're following it. They just say that. They don't even know what they're fighting. It's like they don't even know what to do if they want. It's like somebody chasing after a chicken, and then you caught the chicken, and now you don't. What the hell do I do? What the hell do I do with this chicken? You're scared to death. Now you got the chicken. All right. I'm good. We're going to bring on Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones is patiently sitting in the background, waiting to come on. Let me go over here, ladies and gentlemen. We do have a quick sponsor today, so I'm going to go to my sponsor real quick. We're going to come back with Mr. Jones and the Mr. Jones Science Seminar. So let me see if RC3 sent any messages here before I go. Let's see. The worst experience, let's just say, RC3 says, the worst experience, the greatest story ever told when buffering prevents another point of view. That's right, RC3. They're always trying to shut me down here on this. I must have said too many politicians' names or countries. The algorithm, the AI starts listening, go, oh boy, this guy, he's not just, blowing bubbles or something. He's actually talking about something that's outside the box. It's going to cause a problem for society. All right, anyway, let me do our little... sponsor here, ladies and gentlemen. We got Mr. Jones live, the Mr. Jones Science Seminar, whatever. Mr. Jones, right after this.
Are you bored with breakfast? Waffles, pancakes, toast, all beginning to look the same? How would you like something new, exciting, tasty, and healthy? Well, pick up those eggs and throw away that salmonella because Dunder Pate Incorporated is here. That's right, the same company that brought you Ben's Borderline Meats and Pip's Frozen Pizza now wants to be a part of your breakfast. Have a bowl of fiber chunks. This great tasting, colon-clenching cereal guarantees a bowel movement with every bite. Pass the day away with fiber chunks. One chunk is hardly enough. Look for fiber chunks at a friendly grocer's near you. Fiber Chunks, the cereal that makes you sit. A product of Dunder Pate Incorporated, fulfilling the needs of a needless society.
No, last time I went away for a break and came back, I turned the camera on. No, I turned the camera on, but not my microphone. This time, I turned on my microphone, but not the camera at the time I exactly wanted to. But you probably don't even realize that, so I don't even know why I'm saying it. But I do say it anyway because I just find it humorous to myself. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome, if we could. This is a good friend of Operation Status Quo, Mr. Jones of the Mr. Jones Science Seminar. He's live with us via the Starlink OSQ satellite. So, Mr. Jones of the Mr. Jones Science Seminar, are you there? Can you hear me live on the satellite, Mr. Jones? Yes. Hello, Peter. It's me. It's Mr. Jones. I really love this satellite thing. Is just amazing. When you sent me the link to participate, I was like, oh, this is so. Being as a science guy that I am, I found it very interesting to have the opportunity to use the actual Starlink system. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Mr. Jones. I figured, of course, as a avid scientist. Heyo. You would find that pretty interesting. So anyway, let's have a little convo, as it were. Why don't you, you're new to the audience here, so if you want to just tell people, about yourself and how you came into the science world and such, that'd be great to give the audience a little background. Yes, absolutely. I'd be happy to do that. Well, first I want to say hello to everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. I've worked with Pete, quite honestly, for a number of years. It's been fantastic, and it's great to have this forum for us to get back together and speak as we used to so often in the past. But for myself, I've always been very interested in science. I can remember even as a child, I used to love to take the baking soda and the vinegar and I'd push them together there and make the little volcano. It was so much fun. And then as I grew older, I started to find practical uses for science in my day-to-day life. I do have a propensity, if you would, to bump my head on things a lot. So I did a lot of research, personal, deep research, to find the impact to velocity ratio that I can sustain bumping my head and still being able to function. So when I came up with that and realized that I wasn't blacking out as often, I was still bumping my head, but found the proper impact to velocity ratio to do so. I was able to, unfortunately, still have my condition, but able to deal with it in a way that allowed me to learn even more and become a scientist to the effect that I am today, which has been an amazing pleasure. Well, Mr. Jones, I got to be honest with you. I know we've spoken extensively over the years. I never knew that about you with the bump in the head. I have seen you bump your head a few times. I'll be honest with you there, but I didn't realize. And now that you mention it, it was always at a slow, even, kind of steady pace every time you did it. So obviously, your experiments worked for you. Yes, it did take a little bit of time, a few extra concussions, but I was able to finally get that ratio to the spot where I could manage it well. But I have to say, other than that, that's when I started my science seminar, where I was doing projects, different research projects. I had a great opportunity for a long period of time where I was able to work with the people on work release programs, and I was able to work with them to conduct different experiments and prove different scientific methods. That was wonderful. And if you don't mind, I do have a new endeavor that I'd like to share, if I could tell you about it. Oh, yeah, absolutely, Mr. Jones. That's what you're here for. Tell us what's going on. What's your new project? Well, it's very. I'm kind of overwhelmed myself how this came to be in my life because after COVID and such, things changed so much. Even science changed, if you really want to think about it. During COVID, science became its own new form of science. We had science, and then science became another form of science during COVID. For example, if you were at a restaurant, you could sit at a table with people and eat, but if you had to use the restroom, you would have to put a mask on because obviously the science changed so that now if you're walking, you can be attacked by the same virus that wouldn't attack you if you were sitting in a table or a booth. I'm not sure which one was actually safer, the table or the booth, but I do believe the table was safer because it was more open than the booth. But either way, science became its own entity. And as you were speaking earlier, quite honestly, as you were speaking earlier about the world and how things are just kind of projections in a sense, that's almost like with science. Science is the same thing. Science is ever changing, ever evolving, based on what the powers that be say the science should be for the needs of what is being told to the population. It's really an amazing thing. But please, if I could, let me just get to this because I am actually on the clock here. I have to get back and have a very important meeting today in regard to what I'm speaking on here, and that is I was contacted. I'm so excited. I'm like a child on Christmas Eve or maybe Christmas morning because I know the gift is here. But I've received personal contact from Bill Gates. And Bill Gates is going to now fund me so that I am able to conduct some experiments on actual human specimens, genetic experiments that he has in mind that I will be conducting. And it's great. He told me there's a lot of people left over from Epstein Island that they had to kind of shuffle out of there right away. So anyway, I don't know about all that because I don't get into that too much. All I know is that I'm very excited to have the opportunity to now be conducting these experiments, these genetic experiments, to see what we can find, see what we can create, turn a human into a plant. I don't know, Bill is an amazing guy and talks about turning chickens into roads and turning roads into soy and then turning soy into clouds. So I see a lot of potential, and it's always a blessing to have human subjects to work on. So anyway, I'm just so excited about that, and I just want to thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share it here on your show. Oh, well, Mr. Jones, that's big news. Bill Gates, he's pretty popular from what I understand. People know him. He's got funds.
Heyo.
So, well, I'm really happy for you about that. Thanks for sharing. I know you have to go, you told me. But is there anything else you want to say? I do provide insert for the wonderful people out there today, Mr. Jones, before I let you go. You know, I just want to say thank you for the time and space to be here. I look forward to coming back and sharing with you more details as I move forward with these new experiments. So we'll just see what happens. But in the meantime, I love you, Pete. I love the show. Keep doing what you're doing. I love your album, by the way. I listened to the album multiple times. Happy Day, and it's streaming everywhere. And anyway, it's fantastic. Matter of fact, now while I'm working on some of the human experiments, I'll probably be listening to that in the background because that'll be my happy day. For sure. All right. Well, thanks so much again, and I'll be talking to you soon. Take care, Pete. Bye-bye now. All right, Mr. Jones. Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Heyo.
I'm not really sure on the morality of the human experiments. Mr. Jones sometimes is a little off the beaten path, so we'll have to see how that plays out down the line. But hey, at least he's getting some work in, and and some of these leftover resources, as they were from the island, are going to be able to be utilized, hopefully for the positive of mankind. If Bill Gates is behind it, I'm sure it's for the positive of mankind, because why else would he do it, right? All right, so that's, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? I think we're going to leave. I was going to do this day in history, but I keep trying to keep these shows to less than a half hour. And if I start doing this day in history now, then you know what? We could do real quick. We could do just a real quick, because I got it right here. Let's go. Let's do, because I can't help myself. I love doing different elements, So before we go, we're going to do just a little quick bit. I'll go through it quickly. This day in history. All right, let's see what we got on this day. Today, ladies and gentlemen, is the 18th of June in the good year 2025. But we will be discussing days like today, but not today, because today is its own day, and the days that we will be discussing have already passed us by. All right, so on this day, in 1983 was the first U.S. woman in space. That's right, Sally Ride aboard the Space Shuttle Challenger. She was the first woman in space in 1983, and after that, they had enough of it, and that's why they blew up the Challenger the next time up there and killed that teacher. What was her name again? It's slipping my mind right now. I can't believe I'm not going to try to start thinking of it because it'll waste time. Let's see what else. Let's see if we find any other. Since we're on the woman subject, let's say this. The first transatlantic flight by a woman was on June 18th, 1928. The famed female aviator Amelia Earhart lands the airplane Friendship, having begun the flight the previous day. Of course, you know, she had a little incident probably a little bit later. She took another flight. That didn't work out so well. But anyway, she did take the first transatlantic flight by a woman, Amelia Earhart, back in 1920. Oh my God, June 18th was supposed to be all women stuff. Back in 1973, women's suffrage. Susan B. Anthony is convicted of voting illegally. Wow, come on, give her a break. Everybody's voting illegally now. I mean, come on. Excuse me. There is no such thing as voting. Oh my God. Christina. Yeah. I know it was Christina, right? Christy McCullough. Right. That's RC3. Thanks for telling me that. And you know, the funny thing, RC3 is still taking pictures and showing me that he's putting comments in the live chat, and yet the live chat does not show me any live chat. So what can I do about that? The live chat won't have that. What can I do? A matter of fact, let's see here. Okay, so we got through women's suffrage. Napoleon, the Battle of Waterloo on this day in 1815. He is defeated by the Duke of Wellington. That's why they made the steak after him there, because he defeated Napoleon, and they said, this guy did such a good job. We need steak Wellington, you know? And that's how it came to be. That was the 100 Days War. How long do you think? Let's do it over and under. We should do that now. How long do you think I don't want to say the words because I think YouTube might have a problem, but I versus I. There's two countries right now, I versus I, that are going. Which one? How many days you think that'll last? Put it in the comments. War of 1812. U.S. declares war on Great Britain in 1812. We already beat them, right? We took USA, and then we go back and say we declare war on them again. You know, so I don't know. We already beat them once. It's almost like saying we didn't kick your ass enough the first time. We're going to kick your ass a second time. The moon explodes. It says on June 18th, 1178. I'd like to see the validity of this one. 5 Canterbury monks witness an explosion on the moon described as a flaming torch. Ooh, this is interesting because, you know, what they tell us about the moon isn't real. You know, whether it's actual shape and what we see. And anyway, it's a whole, you can look all into that yourself. But I wonder what they saw. If maybe that was the inception of the aliens taking the moon over as their base. You know, you could take a, hey, I don't know. We just observe life and talk about things here. Soviet nuclear submarine leak. Now, there was a leak in the sub. Does that mean it was leaking nuclear material, or they just have a leak? Because having a leak in a submarine is really not a good thing. A Soviet K-19 nuclear submarine develops a radioactive leak on its maiden voyage. 14 sailors die in the effort to prevent a reactor explosion. So, yeah, once you have that going on, it's pretty much, you're not getting back to home base, right? So, let's see. Now, I guess the Soviets are probably ready for another nuclear leak, and so are a bunch of other countries. Let's see. Let's see here. RC3 says Earhart also first woman to fly across the Atlantic. Yeah, that's what I said. The flight took place in the seaplane. I know, that's what I said. What are you doing to me? Oh my God. He's messing with me through text. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very easy to mess with me through text because I start reading and then I'm making a fool of myself. Paul McCartney was born on this day, 1942. All you need is love. Hey, I can do this real quick. All you need is love. Ba, 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 ba. Close your eyes and I kiss you. Tomorrow miss you. Remember, I'll always be true. All right, sorry. Or I could do, hold on, let's go, the other one. Here I stand, head in hand, turn my face to the wall. If she's gone, I can't go on, feeling 2 foot small. All right, I didn't get my pick. Oh my God, I'm sweating like crazy. We're having a good time. When I'm gushing sweat, I'm working for you people out there. Frig it, we go past our up to 33 minutes. Frig it, we're having fun. Who loves OSQ? OSQ, 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 OSQ. All right. Let's finish up this day in history, and I want to get the hell out of here. So Paul McCartney's birthday. Who else? Who else was born? Anybody good? The American artist who created the poster. I want you, the Uncle Sam. I want you. Remember, like in Rocky 3 when he was dancing around. I want you. Apollo was dancing around, dressed up, living in America. All right, now I'm really getting crazy. My brain is off to the races. But anyway, that guy's name was James Montgomery Flagg, and he's the American artist who created the Uncle Sam recruiting poster. He was born on this day in 1960. All right, that's what. He couldn't be born. Oh, he died. No, he died in 1960. He was born in 1877. There you go. 1877. Let's see. RC3 says Willie Mays was born. Is you saying Willie Mays was born today? Let me scroll down my list and see if he pops up on here. I don't see him. I don't see Willie Mays. Who? Stockton Rush. I don't know. I don't see these names. Oh, Willie Mays. Here's Willie Mays. RC3. RC3, you were right. Willie Mays, born on this day in 1931. And he also died on this day. I guess he died both on the same day, but he died June 18th, 2024.
Hey-o.
Let's see. All right. Anyway, let's do our thought for the day and get out of here. That's enough. It's like I'm getting out of my mind here. I'd like to stay on for a couple. If it was like a whole group of people, I mean, RC3 is enough, but even if we had, I could stay here all day and talk to you. I love you guys out there. I don't know how much you want to listen to me, but I love you guys. I'm trying to keep these shows shorter and they keep getting longer, for the God's sake. All right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's finish it off with the thought for the day. Okay. Don't walk behind me. I may not lead. Also, I may pass gas. That would be a problem. Anyway, don't walk behind me. I may not lead. Don't walk in front of me. I may not follow. Just walk beside me and be my friend. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Won't somebody be my friend? Won't be my friend? This is want to be a friend. They won't be my friend.
Hey-o.
All right, I want to thank you so much for being with me here today, ladies and gentlemen, on Operation Status Quo. We had such a good time. I want to thank RC3 for being with me during the show. I want to thank Mr. Jones and the Mr. Jones Science Seminar for being here with us today. I want to thank each and every one of you out there individually as well as a group. You know I love you and I thank you for being here. God bless you. All right, make sure if you haven't done so already, please take the time to like, subscribe. What the hell? Just push the damn button. Like, subscribe, share. Send this out to your friends, your family, those you love, and of course, those you despise as well. Don't forget to visit pete.palma.com. That's where all the cool kids are. All right, and that's it. And I got to go over here. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, Operation Status Quo. You know it. Disengaged.
It's a boulevard of 10 short blocks.